It's Alex Belfield on your favourite local radio station, and we're talking to some of the country's biggest stars. And we've got a huge, whopping, great big one in front of me. James Whale, how are you?
Well, I'm very big. Well, not that big, Alex, but I'm cool, thank you.
Nice to see you. Got this new book out then. You're another one who's flogging your soul to make money. I love that.
Well, I don't know whether it'll make money or not. I hope it'll make a few bob, but I've written the book because there's a story about a couple of my grandchildren that I don't see, and I want them to actually know why. So that's one of the reasons why I wrote the book, actually.
So really, it was just a personal letter that's been published?
Well, it's a lot more than a personal letter, but that's part of it. Yeah.
Let's talk about your persona, because you've been doing talk radio for so long, and you're really regarded as the king of it in this country. You're kind of mean on the air, but you're warm at the same time. You pull your punches cleverly, don't you?
Well, I think it was Howard Stern who, for people who don't know, is regarded as a bit of a monster on radio in America. But he's been at it for over 30 years, like me, from one station to another. And he always says, well, if it was just rudeness, I wouldn't have survived. So I'm not just rude to people. I'm sometimes curt, but I've just been signing copies of the book in Oxford Street in London, and there were queues right round the block. Of people who feel that I'm their friend, and I am their friend, and that understand and know lots about me and have been listening for years. And every now and then somebody rings up that I think is a complete pillock, and I tell them, you had a brain, you'd be dangerous if you disappear, or whatever I say, and people latch onto that. And then, of course, you get a whole strain of guys who want to be on the radio. It's like being a gunslinger. People have got to take you on. They think, we can be tougher than Whale. We could be ruder than Whale. But that's not... I'm just me, you see. I just sit in here and I'll chat and talk about what's going on or what happened to me or what's in the news. I've no idea what I'm going to do before I go on the air. So if people can copy that, good luck to them.
The one thing I know about late night radio is it's incredibly intimate, and you're with people in bed, You're with people who are perhaps emotional or tired, and you can really touch them. When you're doing that for as long as you have, it's no wonder that they feel they know you, because you are literally their best friend at that time of night.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that most radio stations have always thrown away their late night broadcasting. Now, I started off late night in the 70s, and I did have a period of wanting to be on breakfast, but it didn't last very long when I found having to be up at 4 to go to work was not my idea. You could pay me any amount of money, I still wouldn't want to do it. And I've always enjoyed working at night, hence the title of my program. My book is called Almost a Celebrity, My Lifetime of Nighttime, because, I started out as an actor, and when I was acting, I'd be going to work at night. I then was a disc jockey in the club, so I went out to work at night, and then when I'm on the radio, I went out to work at night. So that's always been the time that I've gone to work, and I prefer to do that because at least people choose to listen to you. If you're on the radio at any other time, they're usually doing something else. But most of the people who listen to me have made a choice to do it.
How would you describe the show that you present now? Because I think it is slightly different from the show that you originated in the North before you came to London. What is the James Whale Show now, then?
Well, it's an interesting idea that you put forward, and I wish I could tell you, but as far as I'm concerned, it's no different to any show I've ever done. I go on the air, and I talk, and things that happen to me, even things that happen to me a few seconds before I go into the studio, probably affect the way I do the show. Sometimes the news is pretty serious and pretty dire. Other times it isn't, and that's reflected in the show. Sometimes I want to talk about a specific subject that's got under my skin. Other times I'll sit in, say good evening, and just take a call without even introducing the program. So it really hasn't changed. But I think what has changed is that people are used to it. When I first started out, nobody did what I do. Now, lots and lots of people, the exponent and the guy who wrote the foreword to my book, a chap who grew up listening to me, Chris Moyles, is brilliant, and I love Chris, and I never got onto Radio 1, and I rather think if I had got onto Radio 1, that's what I would have been doing. But they would never have accepted it when I started.
How are you treated within the building? Do some people believe the act more than the person?
Oh, if you mean in the building of the radio station, I don't go in there very often. So, and I have no interest in. I don't concern myself with the politics of anything. So I'm not involved in the tittle-tattle of who likes who and who doesn't like who. I do my program, have my own team, and that's all really I'm concerned about. I don't bother myself with anything else. I don't also, when I'm not working, I don't listen.
But in Moore's recent autobiography, he talked of the same thing. His reputation goes before him. So when somebody comes to meet him, they're expecting to be attacked in the same way.
Absolutely.
With you.
Yeah, but I don't bother about it. It doesn't, it really... okay, a funny story, I suppose. I went to do a local newspaper interview the other day, and I hadn't really given it much. It was in the area that I live. And I hadn't thought much about it, and I just went in, and they asked would I go in and do an interview, and I said, yeah, absolutely. I'm getting my hair cut, well, getting my head shaved, and I'm round the corner, I'll pop in. And I popped in, and this bloke started to give me the hardest time of anyone. He was obviously got himself very psyched up, thought I was going to be pretty tough on him, and in the end I had to be a little tough on him, because it was coming from a guy who decided that attack was the best form of defence. But I'm not confrontational until I'm pushed.
I think what you do very cleverly is occasionally you'll just sprinkle a little bit of the James Whale angry dust, and then you let it settle for several days, and then it might come back again.
Exactly.
You don't do it very often, do you? But that is the thing that you're known for. So where do you go from here? Are you happy just doing this for the rest of your life, or do you have any greater ambitions?
Well, I've done it for practically all of my life. I'm 56. I sound very young, I know. And
I'll be the judge of that.
I like what I do. I have never had any real ambition. I ended up doing a TV show for a lot of years, and I've been asked to do the television show again. And I would quite fancy doing the TV show again, on the proviso that it's live. I'm not recording it early in the day. I'll do it live. The web opens up an enormous amount of possibilities that I'm interested in. And also, I'm interested in perhaps, working more for me, in a way. And so there are a few things I want to do, but I'm happy. The people who employ me at the moment are happy, and I'm happy with what I'm doing. I've still got quite a long time to go on my current contract, and after that, who knows? I may up sticks and disappear. I may become a politician. People keep asking me to stand for Parliament, and when I see the complete mess that most of these layabouts in Parliament have made of this country, I think, well, perhaps I ought to. So who knows? But I've never had a great ambition. The James Whale radio show is on at night from 10. And that's when it's going to be. Now, it can be on DAB radio, it can be on medium wave radio, it can be on internet radio, but it's on at 10 o'clock, and I have no huge ambition to be the breakfast show host.
Are you doing the show that you really want to do? Because there are Ofcom rules, there are broadcasting standards that you have to keep to. When you go on it, are you self-editing all the time? Do you wish you could say more?
No. I say what I like, and Ofcom take me to task from time to time, and the next time I really get into a ruck with them, I will demand the right of reply. At the moment, they can say what they like about you, and you don't have a right of reply, and I don't think that can be right. If people don't like me, don't bloody listen. It's dead simple. You don't have to listen. Go and find something else to do with your time. I'm not bothered, and quite frankly, if you don't like me, I don't want to hear you. Right? So if you want to get involved in a heated discussion, fine, that's what I'm all about. If you want a bit of information, you want a bit of fun, you want something, entertaining, original and different to listen to me. If you want the banal crap that everybody else puts out, then go and listen to something else, preferably the BBC.
So we're never going to hear love songs on the James Whale show?
No, we're never going to. And poor old Steve, I love Steve Wright, one of my best mates, and one of the more entertaining, Steve Wright, Chris Moyles, Chris Tarrant, and there are a few great communicators. But there's a lot of dross around, isn't there? It amuses me to see the so-called broadcasting celebrities that have been brought on to try and pick up where Chris Tarrant left off, and none of them have managed, have they?
It's interesting how TV people think they can do radio, and it's a completely different thing, isn't it?
Yeah, nothing. It's not similar at all. Now, I always remember that when I wanted to get when Talk Radio, the original Talk Radio station, about 12, 13 years ago started. I went for a job because I thought that was my idea. I should be on that. I've been doing it since the 70s. And the stupid pillock who was, and I've written this in the book, the stupid pillock who was in charge said, he said, James, we're not really taking on TV celebrities. And I thought, anyway. So I said, look, I tell you what, I'll be here when they sack you, and I predict you will probably last 6 months, a year. And I went to work there when they sacked him. And there are a lot of people who are in radio who have no idea what they're doing, and I have no idea how they get the jobs.
I can see in your eyes you're thinking I'm one of them.
No. If I thought that, Alex, I wouldn't be sitting here. It wouldn't be in my interest to do the interview, and I don't think people like me make very good interviewees, because we spend most of our time doing it. So it's a bit difficult.
Is it better for you to be on the other side of the desk where you're in control? Would you rather be asking the questions than answering them?
No, I'm quite happy to do this. Don't take this the wrong way. But if I'm interested to talk to people I want to talk. Not that I don't want to talk to you, Alex, but you haven't done anything that needs criticism at the moment that I'm aware of, or you haven't got an interesting record or film or book out. So there would be not much point in me grilling you. But I do like to grill people. But more than that, I prefer to do my program where I haven't a clue who's going to come on and speak to me next. Could be you. Could be someone else, I don't know, and that's the beauty of it. And we could fall out, we could have a good time, we could fall in love, who knows.
I think we both have the same fascination. I do believe everybody has a story. It's whether you're able to get it out of them. That's what you're great at as well, is getting to the reality of life. We see reality TV, but it's not reality because it's constructed. What you do is going to people's bedrooms while they're in their bed and get
all
them
their
to...
baths.
Oh, really?
In their bath. We had a woman in the other night who I said I could hear. I said, are you in the bath? She said, oh, yes, I am. Why? I said, well, I could hear it. I said, oh, well, I'm in the bath, yeah. And then she got up and you could hear the water drip off her slowly. And we were talking about it. It must have had everybody, because I have a lot of truckers who listen to me late at night. It's, lonely driving up and down the motorway. A lot of people will tune in and listen and call in, and they got very excited.
It's very interesting that people like Jeremy Kyle and Vanessa Feltz and people like this have done TV shows where they bring on people and they embarrass them and find out about their inner thoughts. You really were doing this 30 years ago on the radio, yet nobody seemed to notice or care. Do you ever wish that you went the way of the Jeremy Kyle and kind of did it on TV, or is that not your style?
No, I had no idea who Jeremy Kyle was until a few days ago when somebody sort of mentioned this, and I made a point of looking at the programme and I thought, that's embarrassing. I mean, it really is embarrassing. So no wonder television doesn't have very good ratings at that time of day. He must be very cheap. I can't see any other. Why would people want to watch that? It is embarrassing. Vanessa Feltz, bless her, I was the first person to put Vanessa on television. She's better on radio. But she likes to be a celebrity. You see, I'm not. I'm almost a celebrity, and I like to stay below the celebrity level. There's no point. If you want, Dale Winton is a good friend of mine. He started on Radio Trent in Nottingham, and I used to know Dale then. And he used to often say to me, "Well, I want to get on television. How can I get on TV?" And I used to say, "Be yourself," which was very successful for him. And Dale would always say, "I've got to do as much as I can now because one day they want Dale." Then they want somebody who's like Dale, and then they want anybody as long as they're not like Dale. And I like doing the job. So rather than being the celebrity and the flavour of the month, I would rather just be there doing the job.
It's fascinating as well, if you look now at the exposed BBC costs, how certain people in radio now are earning more than TV people, certainly more than soap people, and they are bigger stars. But of course, there's so few of them. Yeah. You're kind of up there in that league. I don't know what your money is, unless you'd like to reveal it.
Well, I earn... I don't earn... It depends, it depends if I do a little bit of extra work here or there, but I earn more than you, and I earn probably less than Chris Moyles. So, I earn what I consider to be a good wage. I don't save any money. I spend every penny of the money I make. So I don't make huge amounts of money, but I earn as much as I earn at least as much as a doctor or a solicitor.
It's interesting you think you earn more than me. I mean, my Gigolo round is very, very, very profitable.
I can see the sort of shirt you're wearing, Alex, and I know that I earn more than you.
Nothing wrong with Marks & Spencer's or Burton's. Absolutely nothing wrong with it.
People are obsessed with money. The majority of people in the media make very little money. There are a few people who make a reasonable living, which I count myself, and then there are a few people who make extortionate amounts of money, more money than they can ever spend. And the thing is, everybody assumes that everybody's doing that.
I haven't been able to read the book all the way through because of Royal Mail. It was sent about 3 months ago. And
3 months ago and you haven't read it?
It arrived
It's an easy
yesterday.
read. You can read it into... Oh, right.
It's not like Chris Moore's last book with 36 blank pages, is it?
No, but there are lots of pictures.
I love that in his book, how he put an entire chapter, just chapter 1, took up the whole page. That's lovely, isn't it?
Well, Chris will tell you that, he was amazed anybody wanted to ask him to write a book. Even more amazed, I could have told you it was sold well, even more amazed when they asked him to write the second one, which is why he kind of put that in the title of it. But it's people want to read about people on radio because people are fascinated about that voice that comes out of the radio.
It's almost disappointing when you meet the real person because it never almost lives up to the reputation, does it?
So being on television is a two-edged sword. Sometimes it alleviates that disappointment when people meet you, and other times television can make you a lot of money, but it really isn't as much fun as doing the radio.
One thing I do love about your show is when you get the celebs on and you're able to really get to the nub of what they're about and you ask them questions that you don't hear on other shows. I'm sure that loses you guests from time to time, but it's great that you're able to do that. There aren't many people who are willing to ask difficult questions.
Well,
are there?
Yeah, I don't think it's so much the celebrities because you might have. I don't have an awful lot of celebrities, but I have people I like come in, and some people that I don't like might be stupid enough to come in. But politicians are the ones that interest me to wind up. And more of them are saying, oh, no, James Whale, no, we can't go on James's show. And that just goes to show that these people, really who are supposed to be public servants and supposed to work for us, have lost the plot. They seem to think they are the ones who deserve respect. They are the ones in authority. They've got it round the wrong way completely.
Congratulations on the new book. It's in your stores now. Almost a Celebrity, a Lifetime of Nighttime with James Whale is in your books now. The first chapter was most enjoyable. That's all I've got to because of Royal Mail. I hold them solely responsible. Thanks for coming on the show and nice to talk to you.
Thanks, Alex. Get a new shirt.
The Alex Belfield In Conversation podcast with daisymedia.co.uk.